Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the channel. I am Nate, and this is Peach Domino Paper Crafts. And that actually worked out really well. It's right there. I want to apologize right now. There's little black dots on the camera, like right here and over here. I think I left it sitting in the sun accidentally, so I'm going to have to get that taken care of. But I'm back. I went, as some of y'all know, I went and took care of my father for a little bit. Things happened, and now I'm back home. But it is what it is. Everything's okay. I'm okay. And I'm back to filming. And I promised to try not to leave y'all for so long again. I'm sorry about that. So I have a new project I want to start, and I'm still working on the Junetober signatures, finishing those up and finishing up the book. And I am still working on the Purple Gothic Journal number 2. But I also want to start another one. So I'm going to be making some bee journals from the Bee Happy kit from Lottie's Magic Attic. Just gorgeous pages and ephemera. And I'm going to be making 4 of these all at once. Now let me explain how this is going to work. We're going to have one. It's going to be just these pages and coffee dyed pages. And those will all be put together and folded up into, not like this, but interspersed into a journal. And I will be making a bunch of ephemera, but not putting it in the journal. And that one's going to be a kit style. And you'll buy the blank journal, and it'll come with the ephemera, and you can put the ephemera in wherever you want, or leave it out altogether and have writing space, lots of writing space. But you've got 10 pages per signature. There'll be 2 signatures, because there's 8 of these, which means 4 per signature, and then 6 of these per signature, with a variety from lightly coffee dyed to heavily coffee dyed and everything in between. And that'll be the first one. They'll all 4 be made up the same, like all the pages will be in the same order, but they'll all be different. Now that one's the kit one. The second one is going to be the same set of pages, and it will have some similar ephemera, but the ephemera will be glued down in the book, and that'll be just a basic, barely decorated book. It'll probably be the same price when it goes up for sale as the kit, but those will be the cheaper options. The kit may be a little more expensive. Actually, it depends on how much ephemera I put with it. But this will be just lightly decorated. The third one I'm going to call intermediate, because I don't know what else to call it, but it'll be the same thing, but it'll have more heavily decorated pages, not fully decorated, but more decoration than the basic one. And of course it'll be a little more expensive. And the fourth one is going to be a tabletop book. It'll be a coffee table book. Basically, it'll be, I don't want to say completely decorated, because there will be space for you to add your own things, and there will be space for you to write in. But it will be the most heavily decorated type of book that I make. So it will take the longest. But I'm going to work on the ephemera all at once. I'm going to bind the pages today for all 4 journals, and then we will go through and We will, in future videos, make ephemera for all 4 journals at once. Now, as we move along, journals will fall off because they'll be finished, and the rest will keep going till this is the only one left. Because it's obviously going to be the most heavily decorated. So we're going to put a coffee dyed, a printed page, 2 coffee dyes, a printed page, 2 coffee dyes, a printed page, and a coffee dyed, and that's 1 signature. Right? 1, 2, 3. Oops, nope. 1, 2, 3. And then a printed. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the camera. And that'll be 1 signature. Okay, and then the second signature we'll have coffee dyed, a printed, 2 coffee dyes, a printed, 2 coffee dyes, a printed, a coffee dyed, and a printed. Just like that. And there we've got 2 signatures. I'm going to get some paper clips. Paper clip these together from my fancy Lowe's tote of paper clips. And we'll just right there. And there is signature 1. And signature 2. Well, come on now. Okay, and then we've got a coffee dyed, printed, whoops, 2 coffee dyes, printed, 2 coffee dyes, a printed, a coffee dyed, and a printed. We'll stack that. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and set all my signature 1s together. And my signature 2s will be over here. So we'll have coffee dyed, printed, 2 coffee dyes, printed, 2 coffee dyes, printed, a coffee dyed, and a printed. Oops, upside down. Paper clip. I'm sure y'all don't want to watch me do this, but here we are. And I don't really feel like speeding this up at the moment, to be honest with you. So, you're welcome to skip ahead if you wish. I'm almost done. I just got 2 more signatures, or 2 more books to go. Goodness, I can't speak today. 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. 1 and 1. And then we've got one, two, one, two, one, and one. Alright, two more signatures to sort. And then we'll move on to making a template and sewing. And I'm going to hang on to the template too because I think I may do this with more journals later on. I'm rather enjoying this so far. Two gives me lots to work on. And I do like mask making, so it goes towards my mask making proclivities, I suppose. I can make 4 of one thing instead of 1. Even when I get to the big book, I can make 4 of something and then just set the rest aside. One, two, one, and one. Okay. Now let's get to sewing. I gotta find my little sewing kit. I'm not sure where I set it. There it is. All the way over there. I've got string that I can't use. Bigger paper clips, which I will need because I want to let me get my bigger paper clips out. Nope. Standard paper clips. There we go. Okay. That, and let's grab a piece of cardstock. No. Well, let's grab a scrap piece of cardstock. Surely I've got a scrap somewhere. Here, I can use this. Cardstock, but it is scrap. So we'll take 2 inches off of there, and we want 8.5 inches tall. But I want to be able to put at least 1/4 of an inch on either side, so we'll go a full 9 inches. Okay, and then I will take my scoreboard, which you don't have to use. You can use anything. I just like using my scoreboard because I have it. And I'm going to mark 1/4 of an inch, 8 3/4 of an inch, and 4.5. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it around this way, and I'm going to mark it right down the middle at 1 inch. Okay, now what this means is, I can't zoom you in because you couldn't be able to see it anyway. Let me get you something you can see off of. Okay, now let me zoom you in. Alright, so I don't know if you can see, but our lines are here here, here, and here. This should help you be able to see them. Okay? Sort of. So we're going to put a dot right here, which is where I'm actually, you know what? We're going to use this so you can see it real well. We're going to put a dot right here. Okay? That's going to be the middle dot. Now, I don't want to put a dot here and here, but that's where the edge of my paper is going to go when I line it up, because that way when I put it in the book, I'll have a quarter of an inch on either side of my, yeah. But I want to use 5 holes, and see how we're going to do that. We've got 4 1/4 inches from here to here. If I put it at 2 inches, that'll be 1 here and 1 here, so that's not going to work. Let's give it 1 inch, would be here, and then here. That's not quite it. Let's give it another 1/4 of an inch. I like that. Okay, so we're gonna go at 1 1/2, and then 2 3/4, which gives us not perfect. So not perfect. Okay, we'll go 1 1/2 and 3. Ignore the 2 3/4. Okay. Right. So I'm gonna turn it around and go 1 1/2 and 3. Still not perfect, but I think that's closer to where I want them. Which means we've got a line here, line here, line, yeah, here, ignore that one if you can see it, and here. So then our other 4 dots are going to be here, 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 and here. Okay? Now let me zoom you out a little bit so you can see a little better. Okay. Get this stuff out of the way. And I want to fold this in half along that line. That way I can either press it in the book like this, or I can lay it flat. But you're going to take your awl, or whatever sharp pokey tool you have, get your fingers out of the way. See, here's where it's going to come through. So make sure your fingers are not in the way. And go here, here, here. And you don't have to go all the way through. Just enough so that you'll be able to poke into your pages easily. Now, I could go through and fold all this up at once. Or I could just take this, set everything where I want it, line it up as best as I can. And it does not have to be perfect, but this way I can get everything in and basically where I want it, because once you poke them holes, that's where it lives. Just line it up as best as you can. Okay, and I am going to go ahead and do that. Don't know where my flat thing went that I was using. So instead, I am going to use this that I've not been using. Put this on there so that it'll fit good enough. Put my paper in between those lines. Put the middle roughly in the middle. And then I'm going to take this and I'm just going to stab, 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 and stab. Okay, I'll just go through, make sure everybody goes all the way through. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Carefully turn it around. Grab my needle, my thread, and go 1. You can't see that, it's over there. 1, 2, and I always go ahead and go 3, but since I'm doing 5 holes, I'm going to do an extra little bit. You don't have to do that little bit because they say you only need 2.5. I would rather have more than less. If you do more, you have to cut some off. But if you do less, well, then you got to pull the whole thing out and start over. So, put the needle, get it threaded. Okay, and you'll notice my pages are still flat. That's on purpose. That's on purpose today. We're going to see how this works. Like this. Uh-oh. Did we get off track here? Your holes in place. And nothing's in place. So then we go in, through. All right. Come on. Pull it through. Make sure you leave your tail. Pop it through. The other way. Pull it tight. Pop it through here. This is working so much quicker and easier than when I did it folded. Once you get that first one in, they seem to just, without any movement or anything. But I'm hoping against all hope that when I go to fold these, it's not a right mess. Okay, well, It shouldn't be, but we'll see. Seriously? I was just bragging about how quick this was going, and now you're gonna be like this. Like, for real. That's why you keep your finger out of the way. We've all done that, haven't we? Oh, Jibbles. That's gonna hurt for a few days. But I gotta press on. We're gonna be fine. It stings. Like, y'all have done this. Don't lie. You've all done this. It stings when that happens. For a little while afterwards. Then you feel like such a baby for it. Or at least I do, because it goes away pretty quick. And it's like, well, yeah, it hurt, but it doesn't hurt that bad. But come on. I don't know. I haven't done that in so long. I've been being so careful. I knew one of these days I was going to do that on film, and I was worried what my reaction would be, because those are not the reactions I would have had if I were not on film. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all. Yep. Anyway, come on. I'm just going to do this one. I went right through the middle of that string. I hate it when that happens. I hate that. Then it gets all weird on the back or the front or whatever side. It's alright. It'll be fine. Getting the hard stuff over with. I've poked myself. I've cut the string, so now everything's gonna be just fine. And back in. At least it was the needle and not at all. Because that thing hurts when it goes through. It don't just sting, it hurts. Hopefully y'all have never done that. Okay. Now I could go here and then back out and then back in, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go straight back in the middle. Keeping my fingers out of the way. And back out through the starter hole. Pull everybody tight. Leave the needle on, because it does make things easy. You know, I said leave the needle on. Don't do that. It's making me crazy now. Okay, tie it. You can go back under a couple times if you want. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Always just tie it 3 times to be safe. Clip it. Okay, now, there's the fun part. We have that done. Fold everything all at once. That actually worked really well. I like that. It's not perfectly folded, but it wouldn't be after you finish anyway because reasons, I guess. But I am going to go off camera to finish getting all these together, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. And while that took a whole lot less time and effort doing it that way, flat like that, than normal, it still took a lot of time. I mean, that's 8 signatures. And they're still a little puffy for what I want to do with them next, which is the covers. So, also, you'll notice I ran out of thread on the very last one, so I had to get a different color thread. But anyway, we're going to use this, which is a page book flower press thingy. You can buy them online. I'll link one in the description below. Or you can make them. They're real simple if you have just a little bit of money. And you can make them any size you want. I don't like this one because it's a little small for what I like, but it works. So, usually I use this for my regular notebooks. The ones I'm going to sell, and I press them super flat, you know. Let's go ahead and do this. Take the whole thing off. Makes it just a little bit easier if you just take the washers or the nuts all the way off. But you just take 2 pieces of wood that are roughly the same size, preferably exactly the same size, and you stack them together, drill holes in all 4 corners, all the way through. Get you 2 super long or 4 super long washers, or bolts, 8 washers minimum, but I would recommend that you have 16 washers so you can have some inside too, and 4 nuts, and then you just take and you put your bolts through. See if they don't stay there or anything. You just put your bolts through the holes in one, lay it down, and then I like to stack mine with the spines in opposite directions. I don't know if that helps or not, but I do it anyway. And I'm just going to stack all of these together. Hopefully, yeah, it should be fine. I was hoping that I wouldn't have more than would fit, because you can only go so far up, because you've got, this one is, what, an inch thick piece of wood and the nut, so you have to leave room for those to go in place. And then you just put that on, put your washers on, and then you take the nut, put it on. It's much easier with wing nuts than with any other kind, because then you can get them lined up, get them started, and then just tap them and they spin way down, way quick. And you just want to get it to the wood, because you don't want to over tighten anything in weird orders, because then you won't be able to get everything tight. I just tighten it till it stops spinning, and then I go back and I just start in one corner, push down, and tighten again. Go to the opposite corner, push down, tighten. Then the next corner. Then the next corner. Okay, and then just keep doing that. You'll have to start tightening them by hand instead of spinning. And you'll know when it's time to stop because your washer will start moving. That's why my fingers are right here. You can feel the washer move. I mean, not the washer, the bolt. My terminology today is horrible. See, the bolt moves, and then let's see. Let's make this super simple for y'all to be able to see what I'm talking about. See that dot right there? Can you see that dot? Please. When you get to the point where the washer won't go or the nut won't go anywhere anymore, hold the bolt tight and you'll see it move. And that's when you know it's time to stop and go on to the next one. And just do that until you're ready to stop. Basically. Forgot to zoom y'all back out. I'm so sorry. You can do this all day long to a certain point. But I just generally get it tight. And then see, they're all squished down. See how much less room they take up. And you just leave them in there for a while. I like to leave them 24 hours. You don't have to. Just a few hours. But the longer you leave it, the more squished they get. And that's all there is to it. So we'll come back tomorrow when those will be squished down. I'll come back tomorrow. Y'all won't see me again until Wednesday. But the video you'll see on Wednesday will be about the Purple Gothic journal. Because I'm still doing all the journals. I've got to get them all done. I'm going to get them all done. And I've got to start Christmas journals soon. You won't see those until Christmas. But I know that sounds stupid, but I'm getting them done. I'm starting them soon so that I can get them done in time for Christmas, and the videos can be posted in probably November, October, November. So Wednesday you'll see the Purple Gothic, and Friday we will work on some more June-tober stuff. And then probably Monday again we'll be back to this until we get something finished, and then, I'll add something else in the mix. Weekends I might do a live possibly once a week, but don't count on it. I will do a live not this weekend because I'll be out of town. Next weekend, I will make a post on it, about it on my Facebook group. I'll make a blog post on my Ko-fi and here on YouTube. And I've got to start remembering to post other places. I'm also on TikTok, Lemonade, Pinterest, Instagram. I think there's another one, printables, but that's not neither here nor there. I don't have any models on printables. So, speaking of models, I haven't got anything new 3D printed, y'all. Because I was gone for so long. I just don't have anything except this black mini 5-gallon tote. I'm covering up a name on the other side. The lid, the handles do exist. See the hole? They're in a box because the handles are getting in the way of what I'm doing with them right now. I've got to go back and fix this seam right here so that it doesn't do that. But anyway, that's it. I haven't 3D printed anything new. I've got some things going right now. I think I'm printing a quarter holder. Have I showed y'all the quarter holders? I know, this is way off tangent. But let me show y'all something. I collect coins. And this seems like an awful big box because it is, but there's not much in it. But I collect coins and I separate them by year and coin type. And here's a quarter, and down in here some pennies somewhere. Pennies, dimes, those kinds of things. But I separate them by year because I like to go, and if somebody says, oh, there was a special misprint in 2024, I can go through and I can say, well, do any of these quarters have that misprint? And, oh, yeah, that one's got it, I can see if it's worth anything. If not, then, when it's time to go do laundry, I've got quarters. But I've been printing these quarter containers, which have that same seam going on. I have got to fix the seam. Oh, that bothers me. But, just print one in every color. That way, not only do I know by the date that's printed on them, or written on them, but I also know, each different color is a different year. And, like, the 2024 quarters, that one's, okay, it was filament. See, they're like state quarters. Or they're different people, or these are the powerful women, or I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, historical female figures. And I can go in and say, okay, well, this one is that Sacagawea? Let me look. No, it's not. I'm so sorry. I do not know who anything is. Author, activist, composer, Zitkala Sa, I think, is how you pronounce that. And this one is Patsy Takamoto Mink, Equal Opportunity in Education. Anyway, I can put them in different containers and say this 2024 is this one, and that 2024 is this one, and then it'll be easy for me to see at a glance, and I'll know where to look. But it's a slow process getting these all printed in different colors, because I don't want to load different colors every day. I'm just printing everything that gets printed in black, and then I'll go print everything that gets printed in blue, and yada yada. So that's how that's working. Slight tangent there. So anyway, I hope y'all have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you come along with me on this experiment for these 4 journals. Yeah. So thank you for being here. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And I will see you Wednesday. Bye.